Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, the 1st of June. How is it June already? I disapprove. Anyway, it is the 1st of June, which means that it's time to make the Banksia happen. This is where we left off last week. I've attached the inside bra at the neckline, and now I need to attach it at the what is the word? Armholes. It's just that it is slightly wider on the fabric side than on the bra side. And that's actually happening on the back as well here. Huh, that's interesting. Anyway, so yeah, I am going to do my best to make it happen in a way that is pretty and usable. That's it for now. Once the bra is attached, then I need to put the foldable elastic on it, and after that there's only hemming to be done. I can't remember if I talked about the Kapunda undies last time before closing out the video, but turns out I did not have quite enough fabric for the Kapunda undies in the glow-in-the-dark space fabric. I had just enough for everything else but the back, the very behind. So that's where we are. I need to get the I cut out, so what I did is that I cut out everything else except that piece. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to I'm going to, well, I already have set the pieces aside until such a time when I start working on the black bamboo fabric that I have, because that black bamboo is going to be perfect to use as the behind panel together with the navy fabric. It's just that I'm not going to cut into that fabric until I know what else I'm making out of it, because it's like 2 or 3 meters of it. So I want to make sure that whatever that fabric becomes, it will actually cover the actual use instead of just the Kapunda undies behind. So yeah. This week's plans, on top of the Banksia tank finishing, I've got a great Moomin fabric that I'm really looking forward to turning into an Upton maxi-skirt. Maxi-skirt, yes, that's the word. And then on top of that, there's the pile of tulle over there that is just waiting to become a petticoat. So yeah, there's a lot to be done, even with the Banksia being so close to being finished. Which means that I will see you on the other side. Let's finish the Banksia now. All right, Tuesday has come to an end. The Banksia is at the stage where I have bound off the neckline and one of the armholes. And the next thing I need to do is to bind the second armhole, and finally I need to hem the tank, and after that it's all done. That is not going to happen today. I'm trying to catch up on sleep is what it is. I got into a bad habit during my studies for the exam, of staying up way too late, and that is still kind of causing me trouble. So I am doing my best to get out of that habit, essentially. And that means that since it is over 10 p.m., it is time to go to bed, even though I am so close to being done here. But tomorrow is another day, and tomorrow I will finish this tank. And after that, who knows? I won't lie. I am really excited about getting started on the Zadie jumpsuit. I keep seeing there's this user on Instagram, I think So You Think You Can, and she's made the Zadie jumpsuit. I can speak English. She's made the Zadie jumpsuit several times. Hold on. So anyway, yes, the Instagram user is So You Think You Can. You should all totally follow her, because she does some really amazing stuff. Anyway, she's made the, I'm just assuming they're she. Anyway, she's made the Zadie jumpsuit out of multiple fabrics, like different kinds of fabrics, whereas most people seem to do a polylinen or a other linen mix fabrics. And I have this brown suiting that I think is going to be perfect for this. And it's just very good to see someone doing something that is a suiting material. And she has this wonderful pinstripe Zadie, and it is very cute. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I am very excited about making this thing, and I kinda wanna make it so that I can wear it to my second vaccination appointment, is what it is. I want it. Anyway, but before I can start on Zadie, the Upton skirt needs to happen. And so that's actually kind of why I really want to make that. But on the other hand, the orange layer has now arrived, so I probably should finish the petticoat as well. I don't know. Lots to do. Many things to make. But tonight is done. And I am tired, y'all. I did not plan that. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow for more sewing adventures. Good evening. It is Wednesday, and I have not really managed to do much today yet. It is late enough that I might be able to finish the tank, but not much more. I did serge the bottom of this or the hem. I serged the hem of this tank, and that was a good bit of thing to do, but that still leaves me with the hold on, there's something going on here, with the second armhole to bind and the final hem to hem. And after that, it's all done. I think I might just be able to finish both of these things today, which would make it possible, at least maybe, for me to get a start on the Upton skirt tomorrow, maybe. I still do need to finish putting together the actual pattern, so it might be more than tomorrow. Friday, I have another appointment with a massage therapist to deal with my legs, and after that, I doubt that I'll be able to do any novel revision, so I'm pretty sure that I will be doing a lot more sewing on Friday. So maybe for the Upton skirt for this week? I don't know. So this is where it is right now. There it is. It is so very, very not in a position of anywhere close to being done. But it will be. Now on to the sewing. I'll see you on the other side. I did, in fact, finish the tank. It is great. I enjoy it thoroughly. It still has this problem here, right at the bottom of the neckline, where it does this puckering thing. I'm not a huge fan of the puckering, but it's a little bit less than it was on the previous one, so sure, let's go with it. It is very much like the last one, except this time it is in glow-in-the-dark space fabric. Anyway, that's today's, well past today's endeavors. That means that hopefully I will be able to get started on the Upton skirt tomorrow, but we will see. If not, or if the, if putting, well no, if putting together the pattern turns out to take longer than I thought it would, I am just going to go back to the petticoat, because that would also be nice to finish, so that I don't have all this tulle lying around over here. That would be lovely. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Yeah, I will see you tomorrow, and we will see what kind of shenanigans we get up to when tomorrow comes. Good evening. It is Thursday the 3rd, I think? Something like that. But it is Thursday, nonetheless. First of all, so it is already almost 10 p.m., so I will not be sewing for a very long time tonight. But I still did want to just check in and see how things are starting to progress. So I did move on to the Upton dress, Upton skirt, sorry. And earlier today, I constructed my pattern pieces, put them together, and now it is time to start making the construction happen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to just tack down the pleats, because I will have a better time of it trying to put them together right now before I lose track of the pattern and all that good stuff. So I've cut out all my pattern pieces, 2 fronts, 2 backs, 4 pockets, 4 pieces of the back, what's it called? Waist something. Waistband. That seems like a word that I should know already, but I didn't. So anyway, so that four pieces of the back waistband and 2 pieces of the front waistband. I do need to add 2 pieces of the interfacing for both before I can call it done today. But I am just going to sit here and construct my pleats while I chat with you fine folks for a while. I really should not construct the middle front pleats until I am done with the front seam, but I am still going to, because I'm going to lose my markings before I'm done with that. So I want to have these basted together before I move on to actually doing that part of the sewing. So that's what I'm doing. And in the meanwhile, I figured that I would talk about something that is, to say the least, very difficult to talk about, especially since I have already lost my pleat, or the marking for the pleat. See, this is why I wanted to do this before I went ahead and attached pieces together that might not want to be together. Anyway, so yeah, the thing that I wanted to chat about was basically the pattern company Charm Patterns and its owner, I think, founder and owner Gertie. I think I've mentioned before on this channel that I am a patron of hers, or I should say was a patron of hers, since over the past weekend I decided to go ahead and end my support. So to start with, a lot of larger people are ending their support of Gertie, mostly because it's just very frustrating trying to make stuff when the pattern company whose patterns you're making stuff out of really doesn't seem to want you to make stuff out of their patterns. So it kind of gets annoying, to say the least. And so for my part, I never knew. So from what I gather, when Gertie started her Patreon, she promised, or at least part of the sell for her Patreon was that she would be providing more inclusive sizing. And sure, that may be the case. I don't know. I was not following Gertie at that time. I don't know. I'm sure she did. I have no reason to suspect that so many people are getting it wrong. But I never knew about it. I started supporting her Patreon largely because I really like her aesthetic. It's very much of the aesthetic that I want to have. I knew when I started that I would never fit into the patterns that Gertie put out. Like, never, ever. I knew this. And I still decided to start supporting her Patreon. Largely because I figured at least they're bigger than Vogue Patterns, which is the other company providing the same kind of aesthetic right out of the box. And that's a shitty reason. Like, seriously, it is. But I didn't know better. I have not been a part of the sewing community, let alone the fat sewing community, partly because I didn't know they existed, and partly because I didn't even know to look for them. So, this is sort of, well, it's very closely tied to my own sewing journey, because back before we moved here, we moved here 2016. Yes, 2016. And I sewed very actively back then. But then I stopped because we had to move. Or we didn't have to move. We wanted this place. This is like basically my dream home. So no, we didn't have to move. We moved because we wanted to. Anyway, we moved, and anyway, time moved on. And I still did not put my sewing room together. This room was basically what is the word? A warehouse of sorts for years. Last summer we started to really make some headway with cleaning this room and making it usable. No, not last summer, the summer before. Yeah, the summer before that, because last year was when I actually started really sewing again, because I finally had the actual space to do that. So anyway, this is the long way around to basically telling you why I basically wound up supporting Gertie. So Gertie was on my radar from way back when, like from 2016 or something. Like, I followed her blog when her first sewing book came out. So when I started sewing again, and I was like, I could use some patterns because I cannot remember how to do this thing. I wound up looking Gertie up, and lo and behold, she now has a pattern company. And while the sizing is terrible, it's not nearly as terrible as Vogue patterns. So, you know, sure, let us buy these patterns. Oh, she has a Patreon where she's putting out patterns every month. That sounds fun. Let's do that. So yeah, I did not choose the highest level anywhere near, but I did support her, and I was like, okay, I mean, I'm not gonna fit in these, but I can size them up because I can. I technically can. I have done that before. It is so much work. So much work. But I can do that work. I am capable of performing that labor. So I bought a lot of her patterns, and I signed up to support her Patreon because, you know, it's a lovely aesthetic. And I was not aware of the promises that she had been making about making the sizing inclusive. I just was not aware of any of that. And yeah, so up until like March, I think, I didn't really even question it, because mostly well, where would I go? Like, it's not like there's a lot of people doing vintagey aesthetics. And then I saw the by hand London Jackie trousers. I think my friend Marianne Kirby made those. Yes, she did. Anyway, she made those and they looked great on her. And I think that was probably the moment that it hit me that I didn't have to do all that work to essentially redraft something just so I could make it. I could hack a pattern and make it work for me instead of or make it fit the aesthetic that I wanted instead of basically redrafting the whole thing. And that was sort of the beginning of the end. It's now June. I ended my support for Gertie, I think, on Saturday. So it would have been the 29th of May. So it took a long time to mature. But yeah, I ended that Patreon support I'm not going to be buying any more of her patterns. It's just not worth it to me to spend all that money, because they're not cheap patterns, like on the whole. Even the PDF patterns tend to be on the high side of patterns, and I don't need to spend all that money and then essentially redraft the whole pattern just so that I can call them made by Gertie or whatever, charm patterns, patterns. And that's kind of what it comes down to. I don't need name brands in my wardrobe, and I certainly don't need them in my sewing. So, yeah, I'm probably going to make the patterns that I've already bought from her, but I'm not gonna talk about the origin of those patterns. One thing that Marianne told me about was the Islander Sewing Systems pattern blocks. I'm gonna leave the link, or put a link in the doobly-doo, which would basically allow me to start with a block that was fit for my body and created for my body, and make any pattern work for my body instead of redrafting it from the ground up. And I like that idea. So yeah, that's where I am. A lot of fat sewists have been talking about Gertie lately, and will probably do so again based on what I'm seeing from the community, but this is my piece, and I'm sticking to it. Good afternoon. It is Sunday, the 6th of June. It is hot in here. We're supposed to get thunder tomorrow, but that's not until tomorrow. And today is very much a feel of a storm coming. I haven't been doing a lot of sewing in the past couple of days. I did manage to finish the front seam on my Upton skirt. You can hardly see it because the thread is black and the what is it? The fabric is black where the seam is, but the seam is there, and yeah, my poor dog is hungry, apparently. Anyway, I will be very quick because I need to feed the dog. So yes, the next thing I need to do is I just cut out the interfacing for the waistband. So I need to attach the pockets next, I'm pretty sure. And after the pockets are attached, after that it's time to attach the waistband. So I might actually do the iron the waistband interfacing on before I start on the pockets, and then let that cool down while the pockets are doing their thing. That sounds like a plan. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Waistband, waistband interfacing, pockets, and I will see you on the other side. Alright, the side seams are done. The pockets are attached, which means that according to my instructions, it is time to attach the waistband. Pin one back skirt waistband to front skirt waistband at side seam. So press seam allowance to one side. Repeat with second back skirt waistband. Finish seam allowances. I haven't finished my side seam allowances, and I'm trying to decide how I should do that. I clearly need to, because this fabric frays a lot, and I really don't want it like really fraying on me. So clearly I need to finish my seam allowances. Just not sure how I should do that. The front seam allowance I finished by basically turning it in on itself and just top stitching it in place. That's not gonna work with pockets. So I'm thinking that maybe I need to just, I don't know, that's probably it. Take bias tape and run it all across, all down the side. That's probably my best option. And probably an option that I should have taken before I sewed the side seams, because this way I won't be able to finish the part that runs behind the pocket. This part. I'll be able to finish all of this, but not this. And that's kind of a problem. Anyway, yes, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this or finish my seam allowances with bias tape, and maybe I'll try to see if I can finish the pocket behind with zigzag or something, just so that I can have at least some finishing on it. Apparently I was wrong about the storm though. There's apparently been lightning happening while I've been focused on doing everything else except looking outside. It's raining a lot, so there's that. And my dog is very unhappy about the thunder. So I will see you on the other side with the on the other side of the seam finishes. Alright, it is past 9 p.m. I did not manage to finish the seam allowance today. My partner is currently in the shower, and as soon as he's done, I'm going in, and after that I am going to bed because I am very, very, very tired. And yeah, that is pretty much all there is to this today. I did not manage to finish this skirt this week, no matter how much I hoped that I would, but I tried, and there is always next week. I feel bad always doing this when I'm the most tired that a person can be. but one does need to keep up the something. Anyway, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, and I will see you next week with a completed skirt. I'll see you then.